You can see mine if you like.
Merry Christmas to all. This meeting is now called to order. Thursday, December 12th, 2024. Time currently is 6:30 p.m. City Secretary, please call roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Melania Mary Korleski,
Here.
Alderperson Manuel Rodriguez,
Here.
Alderperson Patricia Trish Garcia,
I'm here.
Alderperson Gilbert Ayala, Alderperson Alejandro Garcia Jr., Mayor Sandra Luna.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving on to item number 4, citizens to be heard. Do we have
Here,
citizens to be heard?
Hunter and Gilbert, do you have to excuse them or not?
I didn't get a call on them, David did, but we haven't been doing that the last 2 meetings. I believe Mr. Ayala has an emergency. I don't know. All right, first one on the agenda, this is on topic 17, or did you want to do an open?
I want to do a citizen.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Reference to last month's mayor council, reference to last month's meeting. Y'all have been broadcasting these, and I filed a complaint through the city. I tried to call Mr. Wright, wasn't able to get a hold to him, so I filed a complaint as I was told to on the website. Well, to do a follow-up on the complaint on the website, nobody could find my complaint. I don't know where these complaints go for these websites. My complaint was against the IT person that set up the broadcast for the last meeting. It wasn't properly broadcast over the internet. Therefore, you could hear audio. It was very sketchy. There was no visual broadcast. With that being said, I filed a complaint. Want to know what's going to be done with this new IT person that's going to be held accountable for not doing their job properly. That was my complaint. Second thing is Mustang Creek. I know we talked about that a lot last council meeting. I did my own little investigation of it. I'm a state employee, project manager. Flood gauges. There are no flood gauges anywhere on these drive-through across these drains and stuff. If there is a problem with high water, there's possibility of knowing how deep that water is. Also on end of Goodwin Street, there is a fence across the property, across that creek. That fence will cause a dam if any debris gets piled upon it, which will cause the water and stuff to back up in people's property. It's my understanding that this property has been purchased by the city, so that needs to be removed and done away with in order to get that water free flowing down that creek bottom. Also, you can also look at the Corps of Engineers on this creek to help realign that creek if possible. I don't know if they'll allow you to do it, but if possible, to line that creek bottom with bull rock or anything to try to help straighten that creek out to make it as straight as possible to keep from having to twist and turns going out through there. As far as that, the rest of my comments are going to be made on individual items. Thank you.
Alderman Mary Korleski. Did you want to speak now?
Not till right before.
Before
we go
19?
into closed session.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, on number 19, we have a little presentation to Mr. Juan Velasquez. If you will approach the podium, sir, it'd be great. So Mr. Velasquez was with the city for quite a while. Been here, I think his service was 34 years. And he's done a lot for the city. He held us all at and in compliance with the railroad commission and things like that, utilizing his licenses and getting his expertise. And I really wanted to show him an appreciation plaque for his dedication to the city. Not only that, but he's also come back on a part-time basis to be able to continue to keep us afloat and to able to continue to keep us in compliance. And that's a citizen that really should be appreciated and acknowledged. So congratulations to retire from the city. I know you still help us on a contract basis. I appreciate that. And sincerely appreciate you for your dedication and service to the city of Tooele. And we would like to give you a hand of applause for him.
Thank you guys so much. Mayor, council, David. I appreciate this very much. This reminds me of that I've been working for the city half of my life. 34 years, I'm 66 years old. So I'll keep on going. I'll try to look out for troubles out there and everything and report it to David or to the department heads and keep us safe all the way around. All right? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Ron.
Come on, Trevor. I was actually thinking about it right now.
All right, now moving on to number 6 is departmental committee reports. And we're going to start out with municipal court, but I believe the judge is here. Do we have anything from the judge?
We don't. Code enforcement officer.
All right. Utilities?
Good evening, City Council, Mayor, and Mr. Ryan. So we got the month of November here. We can go over it, and then for the past months where I didn't show up to do the report, if you have any questions, y'all can just ask me. So for the water department, the water table for last month was at 536.49 at the end of the month. The production and consumption, I think I made a typo there because it said our production was 35 million and our consumption was 20, and that's a big loss. So I think that's just a typo there. I'll correct it for next month. The water samples, we took all our samples that we're required to. We passed all of them. And we had 6 water leaks that were reported and fixed. And we have a leak on 97 on our 12-inch main that's still waiting to get fixed. I've been trying to get a trench box, rent a trench box come down so we can do the job safely. Having trouble getting someone down here to look at the job site to recommend one. So I reached out to a contractor for them to come down and give us a quote to do that work.
Is that the one that's right there by the housing authority?
Yes.
And it goes under the highway?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the one we're talking about?
Yes.
That's the one that you said you probably need some kind of
Yeah,
go
so,
further down?
so the South Construction is the contractor that has installed the line. I think it was 2 years ago. Sevio has contacted them to see if they can give us a quote. Warranties on that type of work is only 1 year, so we're out of the warranty. And
Is that the one we believe is in a casing?
yes,
Okay.
there's some, they dug down pretty far when I went over there, and we didn't get all the way quite to the line, but it's right there next to the sidewalk, and my assumption is it's gonna be in the middle of 97.
Okay.
So
And is there a way to find that on the other side of the highway and maybe mitigate it that way if it is in a casing?
So if it isn't a casing, they can turn it off, they can dig both sides, cut it, and replace the whole piece back in there.
Okay, so that's it for the water on that one. We can go to the wastewater. Our average effluent for November was 0.62 million gallons a day. So that's around 600,000 gallons a day leaving the plant. The wastewater samples, all our samples were taken and everything's, within our permit limits. We had 9 sewer backups that were reported and resolved. Our projects, we have a sewer line for the airport that's still on hold. So we ordered backhoes with quick attachments to run, or quick connects to run attachments like jackhammers and things like that. They didn't equip the switch to engage those hoses, so we can't use the hammers. I'm talking with ASCO to get them to give us a quote to install those switches on our backhoes, so we don't have to rent a whole backhoe just to do the job.
So what he's talking about there is the actual lateral coming from the terminal to the new sewer line. The city's installing that line. Around the airport area, there's excessive rock, and it's large, huge rocks. So he needs a jackhammer to be able to break that up, to be able to create a trench and run the line.
Yeah. Okay, and then and we had both of our sewer machines. They had mechanical failures. We sent them to get repairs. They're currently getting worked on. We did rent one, so we have one here in the town to take care of anything that comes up. I talked to the people that are working on it today, and they found another issue with it, so it's going to be a little bit longer on the one that was supposed to come back today. And then we have our permit renewal samples that we're taking. We took a T-clip, and that's from the dry sludge. That one came back. Then the engineer said we needed some more samples, so I sent those off today. So they should be back in about 8 to 10 days, so they can get all that done to renew our permit for our wastewater.
This one, that is relevant to number 15 on the agenda.
So that's it for the wastewater one. The gas department, for the month of October, we purchased, so that's 2,722,000 BTUs of gas. From West Texas Gas, the market price was $4.15. We spent $9,164.08 for October. It's supposed to be November, sorry. We had 4 gas leaks that were reported, and they were resolved. And our replacement plan is scheduled for December. We actually started it today. The guys are finishing it up right now. So that's done. That's a requirement from the Railroad Commission. So that's it. We have any questions on the past reports? In October, we replaced around 300 feet of main from steel line to poly, and that's what we're doing out there. We're transitioning from steel line to poly. It's less maintenance and it's a lot safer.
And where's that coming from? Is that part of the projects that we've been working on, or is just
As far as
something
the gas,
city?
this is all city funds.
So is there any questions on anything?
No,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, we have streets and parks.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, Mr. Wright. On a monthly report, we assisted the Cotulla Main Street and Parks Recreation with setting up Christmas trees, Christmas inflatables, and we wrapped the lights around the trees at Veterans Park and Plaza Florita for Christmas. I also want to commend my crew that worked on this task to get it completed before the deadline for the Christmas lighting. We also removed brush and grass from the property lot on the corner of Medina and Kerr Street as per code enforcement. We also demolished a structure at the corner of Thomas and Orozco Street as per the code enforcement, and the owner paid the demo fee. Austin Wood Recycling has completed the grinding of the pile of the brush into mulch at the brush collection site, and we will be spreading the pile of mulch within the brush collection site to deter any fire hazard. Also, we utilized the walk-behind saw to cut a square of pavement on Pool and Live Oak Street due to a water leak repaired by the water department, and refilled it with cold mix asphalt.
And you said that y'all had a training with asphalt this week?
Yes, we did. It was actually a vendor that we saw at TML he came down and he showed us a far superior product to what we're currently using from Vulcan. They offer a 3-year warranty on the product. Price is negligible. It's a little bit more expensive than what we're paying, but you get a warranty and you get something far better than what we're using. And we went out and did a demo and we saw it. And, you know, they did a pothole and it was excellent. You know, it kind of looked like kinetic sand.
Yeah.
And the material was small. It wasn't bulky. It wasn't stuck together or anything like that. One of the big things with Vulcan is we order a truckload. They drop a truckload, and you know it's good for about 30 days. A lot of times we have it sitting there longer than that, dries out, and that's where you fill a pothole. It gets wet one time, and everything comes out. This company, they have it in bags, small bags and large bags, and it stays fresh in that bag that they have.
Rock asphalt, right?
Yes, that's the one, rock asphalt. So you always have fresh material, you know, and then they back it up, they warranty.
So economic wise, when we're piling up asphalt somewhere, we're mitigating some of that cost by.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and then in the long run, we're spending less money because we're using it less often. It's not falling out of the hole or messing up.
It's a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it holds more on those potholes, and it's just it'll eventually help save more money.
Robbie, I wanted to address the mulching of that brush. That was the brush that was approved, what, a couple months ago?
Yes, ma'am.
And I know those piles were pretty big.
Yes,
Um,
yes, they came in and grinded it all. They did a great job. And then, of course, we've got the pile of mulch right now, but my guys are gonna go out there and spread the mulch around the collection site, so it won't be a fire hazard.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask next.
Moving forward from there, Mayor, as brush comes in, we do have a chipper. They are gonna chip it as it comes in. I've asked Robbie to put a dumpster over there and start filling it with a dumpster. Once the dumpster's full, if there's nobody that wants a donation of it, then it'll end up going to the landfill versus sitting over there and piling up.
Did we look at that product the
Yeah,
combustion?
the air burners.
Mhm.
Yes, I have that on my desk. I looked at it and I watched some videos on it, and it's pretty good. But one of their smaller systems runs around $190,000. So that's kind of an issue. We'd have to be able to get that capital. But I haven't looked at it.
But we have a path forward maybe
We do.
with mitigating some of these situations. Of course, this was an unusual year, right, to where you had more brush than you had in the past.
Well, yes, because the county and again, the county, the commissioners are helping me a lot, you know, because we're busy doing some other stuff. So they go and collect, you know, the brush or whatever that's on the easement of the city, and they take it and we collect it over there. So, yeah, we've had a pretty big pile.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If a citizen would be in need of mulch, will we be able to go get some? To put
Absolutely.
Yes,
around?
at free of charge.
Okay, great.
By the truckload.
Please,
It's free of charge
Thank you.
if they want to go get it.
Robbie, could you offer some of that to the county maybe?
Yes, I could probably reach out to them and see
See if they would need any?
I'll reach out to the commissioners and see if they need some, they can go get it.
Any other questions for Mr. Thomas? Thank you, Tom. Robbie.
Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas, bud.
Merry Christmas.
Robbie.
Next E is going to be sanitation.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, Mr. Wright. The November monthly report for 2024 is in your package. We did have a rental on Goodwin Street for 5.67 tons, 11,340 pounds. We have your tons and your pounds for the transfer station and for the commercial residential trash pickup. 24 total roll-offs. Trips were made to Laredo, No Metal. Operations on the solid waste has been running smoothly for the last 2 or 3 months. Thanksgiving was kind of heavy afterwards, but we accomplished that. We ran 3 trucks. We got all the trash picked up. We ran an extra truck, and everybody's trash got picked up during the Thanksgiving holidays. And we expect to do that also through the Christmas holidays. Help out the guys. I know there was one day they got out kind of late. I wasn't here at that point, but everything got accomplished. The new garbage truck got a state inspection at Rush. It passed. I do have a roll-off at Rush Trucking right now. They're diagnosing it, so I really can't give you the findings on that problem right now. I just know the crank pressures were pretty high, and they're trying to figure out what's causing that crank pressure to be as high as it is. That's all I have to.
Mel, you're kind of help us out with the sweeper as well. I haven't seen it around. Were you still utilizing it?
Yes,
during
ma'am, I have.
the off time?
I was on training for a week, and then prior to that, I was helping out with the trash because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So it hasn't been mobile for a couple of weeks. But yes, ma'am, I am.
Any questions for Mel? Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Next is 6F is animal control. You know,
Good evening, council members, mayor, Mr. Wright. So for the month of November, it's a little slower than the past couple of months. At a total of 7 work orders that were completed, 4 animals were adopted, dogs and cats. 2 dogs were surrendered. A total of 5 dogs were rescued. No dogs or cats were reclaimed. A total of 11 dead animals were picked up off the streets. A total of 7 dogs euthanized, and then a total of 14 dogs were picked up, strays, and 9 animals caught traps, cats, raccoons, possums. And other than that, the kennels cleaned, sanitized daily, animals are fed, water's changed daily, and the grass is cut around the shelter and surrounding area. And any questions?
thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Main Street. And as Jen's coming up here, I'd like to give her a little applaud for the job well done. And all city employees, they really did an awesome job, and they had an awesome turnout out there. The parade, everything was just really well done. Even with the cold weather out there, there was still a lot of people out there and taking pictures and everything else. So it was really a nice turnout. So kudos to all city employees.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Wright. I gave you guys, I think, the past few months of reports, but I'll just report on November. So yeah, the whole entire month we were at the parks every day, getting everything together, back and forth. I was back and forth to and from San Antonio, picking up decorations or whatever I had ordered, staying on top of the guys. I know they were tired of me, but they did a good job. It was just a daily, did you do this? Did you do that? And then I did thank them, even though I was driving them nuts. And then we also, let me see. Oh, I reached out to HEB to get a quote on turkeys to distribute for Christmas on behalf of the city. And so far, or what they told me was the quote would be around, give or take, 4,100. I think that's a line item for today.
Yeah, that's
It is.
But of course, we won't know the final amount until it gets to HEB. They weigh each turkey, and then we can get that amount. As long as that gets approved later, they can order it tomorrow or Saturday for it to be here by next week.
And the turkeys are for what?
For the community, I'm not sure exactly. Yeah.
So-
Not for us, for
Not for
the
us, no.
community.
This will be a distribution for the
Right.
community, retired or disabled. We generally get a list from the nutrition center. I was thinking this year that maybe the council and the mayor can give us some people that they may want to have turkeys go out to. We're ordering 200. This is an agenda item.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
Any
Do you have any
questions for Jen?
questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we didn't go in here.
Mhm.
We didn't go in here.
No, that's- All right, next up is going to be our accounting department and our finance.
Good afternoon, council, mayor, Mr. Wright. First report we're going to look over is the sales tax. For December, we collected $204,890. It's a pretty strong month. On the next report we're going to look at is going to be the hotel motel tax collection. For the month of November, we collected $79,459. Another strong quarter for the hotel motel occupancy tax. On page 6, we're going to look at the general fund totals. So the general fund total revenue was $595,242. Expenditures $622,912, which is a net loss of $27,669. That net loss can be a little misleading. We just sustained an expense from TML, is pretty much insurances for all our equipment and vehicles and all that. That is a really big adjustment that's going to be hitting different departments. That'll be corrected and reclassified in the next meeting. On the next page we're going to look at is page 9 and 10 for the water sewer total. The total revenue, $310,055. Total expenditures, $158,412, which is a net income of $151,643. On page 12 is going to be the gas. Total revenue, $51,354. Total expenditures, $40,103, which nets the city $11,251. On page 14 is going to be the solid waste department. Total revenue, $139,797. Total expenditures, $89,922, with a net income of $49,874. The last report attaches the check register for the month of November. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Are you on the list? All right, on to number 7, and that's going to be the approval of minutes for November 14th, 2024.
Mayor, Mr. Mayor, did I ask a question?
Sure.
So, see, I'd like to know if nobody asked you.
Hey, can you stand up to the podium, please?
Sure can. The question is, I think nobody asked you, on sales tax, hotel motel, has you not paid?
Yeah, we actually did a study last year to figure out how many people haven't paid. And so we're working with a company called Avenue Inside. We're going in and looking at the past.
They'll get it right on the next page.
And making sure that everybody's in compliance. We have somebody, last year, we had about $336,000 that the city hasn't received from people not paying. And so we're making sure we're keeping them away and on top, so just so they know we're on top of it too.
How long has it been? A year, 2 years?
Well, that was last year, so there's still money. I don't know how long ago that I guess that's it's going to be more than 3 or 4 years, it was $300,000. So I guess it's all just really dependent on the actual hotel. Some people are maybe behind 1 year, while some are going those 3 or 4 years. It's all really specific. We have plenty of hotels, so it's just kind of
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
The reason we didn't ask is because we already know all that. Thank you.
All right, here we go on to number 7, approval of minutes. Is there any, was there review? Do you have some,
On number 22, it says Patricia Trish Borleski. I just need a correction on that. Number 22. My last name starts here. Thank you.
any other corrections? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor of approving the minutes
Aye.
for November 14th? All opposed? Motion approved. All right, going on to ordinances and resolutions on number 8. This one is the discussion and to act on resolution number 121224-001, resolution of the city of Petula adopting a policy waiving rental fees for certain covered entities for public use of the Alexander Convention Center, declaring a public purpose, incorporating recitals, providing for servability, and setting an effective date. In review of that, I did have a discussion for council on section number 2. If you look at that, it says that the city administrator would have final appealable authority. I think that should come to the council itself. If you look at section number 2 of the resolution, it's on page 1 of that.
Number 8.
On number 8, yes. David, do you want to speak on this one?
Yeah, I can speak on it a little bit. So we're bringing the resolution. I know prior council meetings, we've talked about it. We've had several meetings, well over a few years' time, where we bring to the council 3 or 4 agenda items for waiving the fee for the Civic Center. That's why we're bringing this resolution. In the resolution, it allows public entities, county, school, not-for-profit organizations to receive one time a year a waived fee on the convention center. The resolution also says that they would be able to use it during the week. They wouldn't use it on the weekends when we're potentially making our best profits. There's a policy in there the policy's already made, it's already here after the resolution of what staff will follow to approve them for the waiver.
There's an application behind the resolution.
Correct, and there's also an application. And that's what I have on it.
So Mayor, when we had our last meeting, I was asked to put something together. This is a draft. It's certainly not something you have to adopt tonight. You can study it, look at it some more. But I think the concern was that it's just repeated. And the idea of giving the city administrator that authority was so that it doesn't continue to occupy your time here at the council. You can take that out. I certainly think that if you leave it as is and it becomes an issue, you're going to hear about it. So you could come back and ask for changes. It's more of an administrative thing. It's not really doing anything except saying, this is how much it's going to cost you to use it. That's it. I don't know what the ideal setup would be, that everybody paid.
Right.
Quit asking for free use of the center, but, that is something that is occurring because the city has allowed it to occur. If the city.
I personally, not personal, on the standpoint of the mayor's offices, city governments and things like that, we should work with, as the school works with us and the county works with us, we should work with them. I just, the appeal process, that I don't have a problem with David being the approver. Is I would see that if there was an appeal or something, that it would,
So yes, but
Yeah.
in the policy here, it actually outlines the school and it outlines the
Right.
county
It does.
as being able to use it. So I don't see why there would be any
And
appeal.
any one of those entities could come back to the city and say, hey, we'd like our own agreement.
Right.
Like the county
Right.
did.
Right.
Which the city could approve. It could probably, it might be able to model it off of what it does with the county. The county is different because the county does things for the city
Right.
all the time. The
All the
school
time.
helps with elections, and get, collect your taxes for you. It charges you to do it. But,
They also help out, like even during this Christmas decorating, we didn't have a lift, and they help us out with a lift.
Sure.
So there's different things that that there's an agreement between the city
Right.
and the school and the county, that we help each other out.
And like I said, that this is something that is somewhat coherent and comprehensible. It by no means is the final say on the issue. If the council wants to do something different, or you want them to do something different. But it is the first time we've ever really had something in place. And it's just kind of ad hoc, and maybe some entity used it much more than another entity did. And by the time they come and ask for it, you don't remember the last time you did it, and, things of that sort.
Any discussion?
I still want to be waiving fees for the school and the county, help each other out, and they help us out, and I'm all for it to also help out the schools and the county.
So the resolution says they get one completely free, and then after that, you can still reduce it.
Right.
Right.
But it sets a minimum.
Yeah.
Charge. So they're not gonna necessarily, because they've used their one free use, have to pay the full price next time. The city can still work with them on that. And I don't know what David thinks. I mean, if he spent much time looking at it or not.
Yeah, I read through the whole thing and I read through the policy also, and I think it's reasonable, especially along the lines of how long it takes as far as agenda items that we have here every month. It streamlines the process. I'm going to say, first of all, 503C, well, 503C, or the school or county, DPS, Border Patrol, I'm not going to deny them. I'll tell you right up front. There would be no reason for an appeal process or anything like that. Those are all people that deserve it. And then it just creates a process so we don't have to bring it here and waste a lot of time on it.
So I did have one observation. I think a lot of the uses are like during the day, right?
Correct.
If they're
Yeah, we
doing
have,
training, it
right.
wasn't being used anyway.
And sometimes it's only a few hours.
Right.
It's not always going to be 3 days or, the full 24 hours.
They always do something like a health fair in August, and then sometimes there was a nurse that worked with the Methodist Church that would ask to use it. So I think it just puts some kind of a guideline in place. But again, it's completely up to how you all want to use it. Now, if somebody says, hey, I want to have a raffle for, have a fundraiser for somebody's house and burn down, well, that's not covered by this. These are public entities, which are normally the ones that come and ask for the center. So that would be something that would still come back to the council.
Correct.
Any discussion from the council? So what are we asking for right now?
Motion.
Motion
Yeah, motion.
I'd like to make a motion.
to vote on?
A motion that the city administrator be authorized to do this from the office. There's no reason for them to continuously come to this council
Well,
So
second.
it's a motion to approve.
to approve.
Motion to approve, that's
Yes.
You second the motion?
Second.
All in favor of approving the
Aye.
resolution? All opposed?
Now, these
Motion
resolutions
passes.
are not typically something that you're going to have on your website, but we could distribute this to the entity, say, hey, this is our policy.
Right.
And that way they would know, or we could put it on the website. You know, it's all on, depending on how the city wants to get the notice out there.
Yeah, a lot of the, there's a lot of people that do look on our website too for those, approvals and things like that, and guidances. All right, moving on to number 9. To discuss and consider an act on presentation of annual report by Housing Authority of the City of Petula.
Honorable Mayor, Honorable Council, I was wondering if I can be heard on this matter because I'm representing through the law firm of Martinez, Franklin, and Morales. We're representing the City of Petula Housing Authority. May I be heard on this?
Yes.
Please? Thank you very much. So, like I said, my name is Joaquin Rodriguez, and I am representing the Housing Authority today on this matter. So I just want to bring to the attention of this body that pursuant to section 392.062 of the Texas Local Government Code, the Housing Authority, while they have a statutory obligation to file a report, there is nothing within the statute that would require this Housing Authority to present anything to council. However, we do have a representative from the Housing Authority, and that is Ms. Nicole Villarreal. She is the vice chairperson for the Housing Authority, and she is here to present a report that we will be filing with the city secretary as soon as possible. I come here humbly and respectfully, and I request that any questions that are posed to Ms. Villarreal are I guess, pointed to the report and nothing else, if that's okay. That would be my request. And so without further ado, here's Ms. Nicole Villarreal to present the report.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nicole. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Nicole.
So, good evening, City Council, Mayor, Mr. Wright, Mr. Peña. Before you, I have the year-end financial statement for the Petula City Housing Authority. And so it is a combined report of all the programs. There are 3 programs that the Housing Authority have, okay? And so all 3 programs are combined in this financial statement. I don't know if you want me to read all of them. No, but this is what we wanted to present before you, and this is for the year 2023.
What is restricted, on some of these items? Restricted cash tenant, restricted cash, is that handicap or what is that? First page, current assets.
Yes, this report was actually prepared by Enrique Gonzalez. He was the CPA that was hired to do this report. He is not here at the moment. This would just be a presentation of the numbers.
Okay, thank you.
So am I understanding this correctly? Is this the first time that you have submitted this to the city council?
Yes, it's, as per the statute, it has to be filed once a year for the preceding year. So that's why you have 2023. The year is not over yet, so this will be filed with the city secretary, which would be the municipal clerk, if I'm not mistaken. It just has to be filed.
Mr. Morales, on the report that has cash and bank, oil and gas, what are those accounts? Do you know?
I do not know. However, this kind of goes into the executive session item where and I can say this because I personally looked over those records before turning them over to your attorney, Mr. Austin Beck. And we'll talk about that in the next, or if you'd like to bring up the item now, it's completely up to you.
No, we can do it in closed session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving on to number 10 is discuss, consider, and act on monthly presentations by departmental reports.
Mayor, this is a item that was requested by a council member. I would let them go ahead and have the floor and explain what they are looking for. Yes, Mary?
Pardon me?
Number 10, the item for the agenda, if you want to explain.
Oh, yes, yes. We had stopped getting the reports from the employees reporting to us on everything that they've done for the said month. Now, we don't have to have every employee come in and give the report, but I do think it's extremely necessary to have the head of the departments, the supervisors, to come in as they did this evening to give the report. It doesn't take much time, doesn't spend any money. They're all on salary except for a couple people. Doesn't take much time with the council. So I would suggest that we continue to have, not quarterly, but every month, have the supervisors come in, give a quick report. We've already looked at the reports when the packets are delivered, so we just want to hear them say that.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
Would you like a question? Do we have a motion to?
A motion.
To vote on, what is it? Your motion on?
Monthly
On that,
presentation.
to approve that.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second?
All in favor of a monthly report by the supervisors at the city office and departmental reports? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Number 11, discuss and consider act on approving expense not to exceed $5,000 for the purchase of turkeys for the municipal food distribution.
I kind of spoke on this one during departmental reports, asking for not to exceed $5,000 to purchase 200 turkeys for the citizens of Cotulla. This would be for retired or disabled elderly. This week, next week, if approved, I would like the council to give me a list, approximately 30 each, if we can do that. If not, we do get a list from the nutrition center, and the city staff will distribute them out to the residents. Like Jennifer mentioned, the estimate right now is 4,100. They're going to sell it to us by the pound. So once they weigh out the total 200 turkeys, then we will have a dollar amount.
Any other motion or discussion on the topic?
A quick discussion is I did speak with the county judge's office to see if they were going to be distributing anything like they did for Thanksgiving. They're not for Christmas, so I just didn't want to, I also asked for their list so that we do not, go to the same house and everybody gives a turkey and a ham. So I have spoken with that. We will iron that out. And if there's no other discussion, I do make a motion that this be approved.
I'll second it.
And with that discussion, since you mentioned 30 from each council and 30 from me, I would like to reach out to the Housing Authority and have some of the people and get a list from Ms. Rodriguez of
Okay.
who she recommends would receive some of those as well.
All right. One thing I do want to tell everybody is that we would like to have distribution completed by next week. So the sooner we can get the list, the better.
Right.
So,
we have both motions, City Secretary, all in favor of approving the expense of no more than 5,000 on turkeys to be given out. I do have one more question. I'm sorry. This money comes from?
it's coming from operation and maintenance. So it is not a budgeted item. We're going to pull it from administrative operation and maintenance.
We're good with that one? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Number 12, discussion and consideration on revising bank signature card for Stockman's National Bank, removing Bianca Maldonado and adding Juanita Fonseca as the authorized signer and authorizing Ms. Fonseca full access to Stockman National Bank online accounts. Any discussion? Do we have a motion?
Motion.
And we have a second?
Second.
All in favor of putting Ms. Fonseca as the signator on our bank account, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Number 13, to consider opening a bank account with Stockman's National Bank for issuing bank cards and facilitating training, registrations and other online purchases for this event. I know that we should discuss a little bit. My take on that is that we do probably need a bank account. We do have a lot of little places that we go and get things for the park here and things like that. And a lot of our employees, because they care and everything else, are actually using their funds and their payment cards and their, stuff to pay, whether it's cash or card or credit card. And when they come and bring us those, that's fine. We're reimbursing them, but we're not paying their annual fees. We're not paying their, interest on them. We're not paying none of those things. So I think that's one of those things that really needs to be facilitated and give us a better management of such funding. So I would say that we should get an account. Any other discussion on it?
So, anybody that uses the card will have to sign it out and give receipts and all that.
Yeah, it's going to be a little more strict than that. One person will stay with the card, one person will make the purchases. All the purchases that are made will come to this council every month. You guys will get a rundown of what has been purchased. It will stay with the accounts payable.
Being that we do have a city secretary, part of her recommendation, would we like to hear her recommendation as well? Or are we good with just going through motions? No? Would you like to hear from her or no?
Sure.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Council. I had inserted an attachment to the item just to kind of explain the reason why we needed to have the account. If we approve it tonight, we'll come back next month as per bank with the resolution actually officially giving us permission to, we just needed permission to request those documents from the bank. But the explanation is there, and basically what it is like the funds are coming straight out of our accounts, and a lot of times we don't get the reimbursement a week or two later because we don't have signatures or whatever the case is. And so it makes it hard on the employee if the funds are not.
The other thing that it eliminates is that, and facilitates that there's no conflict of interest this way. Right now, we're technically in a conflict of interest when we're writing checks to Ms. Fonseca or to Jan or things like that, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So, Right, do we have a motion to vote on this?
Yes, I make a motion that.
Do I have a second for that? Okay. All in favor of opening an account at Stockman National Bank for trainings, registration, and fees like that for purchases for the city? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
I'm sorry, Mayor, on that one, who made a second?
Ms. Garcia.
Thank you, Council.
All right, number 14, discussion and consideration approving nominees for Plaza Florita Advisory Committee. I think there is a list on that one.
Yeah, there's 7 names.
Yeah.
Right here.
So with the approval of those fundings for the Plaza Florita that's been long overdue, do we have anything coming up that they're finally going to start on it? Or what do we?
On the Plaza Florita, no, on the plaza itself, the first part of it's going to be nominating this advisory board. This advisory board is going to work directly with the architect to design the plaza and to pretty much make it how the community wants it. And this is the beginning. It's the starting point. Of course, we've already started on the bathroom project. It's not just a bathroom, but parking lot and the statue. That section there was designed even prior to my time. I believe there was an advisory board that may have had one meeting and then it dissipated. And I'm trying to restart it at this point. I did get 2 names of Mr. Alfredo Zamora and Jerry Garza that were on the first advisory board, but I didn't get anybody else. So we're trying to start it back.
And with those names, I can tell you that Mr. Zamora did provide a lot of pictures to me and the city has some of those as well, facilitating that old style of developing that community and that project. So I was very interested in those things. So, and I think that Jerry did the same thing. So that's why they're kind of on there. Miss Sonia Hearn, of course, her relatives used to live right around that corner as well. So we want people that are love that neighborhood and are gonna want to do the best for our community. Any other discussion on 14?
So you have talked to these 7?
Yes, actually, Jennifer contacted every one of them and explained to them what we were doing. I did have a conversation with Josh Del Real and Rachel, his wife, about it. I had a conversation with Miss Sonia Hearn, and Jennifer talked to everybody else.
And they all agreed?
And of course, Miss Jerry, I've talked to her about it several times.
Okay, great.
Why does my last name say Manuel Garcia? It's okay.
I didn't say
That's okay. It happens.
All
It
right.
happens.
So do I have a motion to vote on?
Motion to accept
A motion.
Second?
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor of the list of committee members that were nominated to this Plaza Florita board, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, number 15.
15. All right. DM.
15 is a discussion and consider and act on approving invoice in the amount of $20,112 from CDM Smith for task order number 7 related to the City of Petula Water Conservation Plan. David?
Yes, this, 4 months ago, this was approved through council, total project. This is a draw, the first draw on the project, which CDM Smith is doing they're doing our wastewater permit. They're doing a resiliency assessment, which is required by TCEQ. And they're doing a response plan for the water and wastewater emergency response plan, which is also required by TCEQ. This is a draw on the project, $134,000, and it's a $20,000 draw.
Do I have a motion or do we need to discuss?
Make a motion to approve the invoice.
You second it?
Second it.
All in favor of approving for this invoice of $20,112 to CDM Smith and task number 7, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Number 16, we're coming up on it, and as per requested by Mr. Sapuche, he would like to withdraw. Sir, is that correct? Number 16 is withdrawn?
May I speak?
Yes, well, since it's withdrawn, it's not a topic, we don't need a discussion on it. So, yeah. If it were to stay in order, then we would need it. Moving on to number 17. And I believe we have a discussion before this one. Would you, discussion to consider and act on live streaming for future council meetings? Mr. Alvarado, I think you're on number 17.
Mayor, council, I know y'all don't like this live stream stuff, but there's a lot of people that can't get out. Old, elderly people, handicapped people, and people that just don't want to get out and be aggravated by driving up here. You know, a lot of people are not proficient enough to have computers and stuff at home. And I've been watching on the live stream now. There are people watching it. So taking this away from them and having their access and making them come up here is really just ridiculous. We're at the time in this century that, you know, technology is what we do now. That we do live stream for meetings, we do live stream for just about everything that's inconvenience for other people. The reason why I want to talk about this is that you know, you have potential investors that look at these live streams, you know, businesses that want to come to Cotulla. They want to see how this council acts about their monies and stuff, you know. So if you deprive them and make them come to Cotulla and you've already had this system in place and you want to take it away, it means to me that, or if I was an investor, I wouldn't want to come because you're trying to hide something. You know, and you already know that this city has several criminal investigations going on at this particular time, and you're going to take this away. What does that tell you? What does that tell the citizens? What are you trying to hide? Why do you want to do this? You know, why do you as a council person want to do this? Why do you want to commit political suicide? Because that's what you're doing. If you take away this from the citizens, that's what you're doing. When it comes to election time next time, y'all won't be voted back in because y'all are hiding something. And with that being said, you know, my main concern is you want to make Cotulla grow. Let everybody see everything. Let everybody be transparent. You know, don't try to hide anything. Thank you.
Any discussion by the council?
Yes, I would like to make a comment on this. Obviously, to me, it's become very political on the situation here. So if there's no other discussion, I want to make a motion that we stop streaming, starting with this last meeting, starting January of 2025.
I'll second that motion.
You have the first and second, all in favor of stop live streaming for future council meetings, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
I have a question.
Number, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Clarification. Would you clarify whether you are stopping the live stream, but not the video replay at a later date?
There will be no more recordings.
So you're confirming that there will be no more video record of your meeting posted online after the meeting?
As per the request by
All
Councilwoman Mary.
right, thank you.
One more question there. At a later date, if council gets changed out, it can be placed back on the agenda and revoted to be placed again, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to number 18, discussion and consideration of application of payment number 1 from CK Construction in the amount of $100,000 $102.50 for the Plaza Florito restroom and parking project. And Mr. Alvarado, I believe you were on that one for number 18.
I just have a question in reference to this. Is this like a draw, Mr. Wright, or is this?
Yes, it's a draw on the project.
Okay. Is this the first draw?
First draw.
Okay. How many more draws do you think it might be?
Monthly, up to the total amount, I'd probably be about 12.
Okay. Who is doing your quality control inspection over here?
That would be the architect, engineer, and they have an inspection. They have inspectors that work for them.
Okay. All right. Thanks, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve that amount for CK Construction?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll take it.
All in favor of approving the amount of $100,002.50 to for the restoration of the Plaza Florita restrooms and parking project, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Sir.
Just before you go into number 19, which would be closed session, correct? May I
Right.
make a brief comment?
Yes,
Mayor,
please.
Honorable Council? Yes, I just wanted to give a quick update to this council with regard to the open records request that was served upon the Cotulla Housing Authority. So as of today, we have already sent a multitude of records to Mr. Austin Beck, who I believe is representing this council in this open records request.
And I have received.
You have received it? Okay, excellent. And and there is more batches coming, and we have provided a date certain to comply with the request. I just wanted to update this council, just in case your lawyer hadn't gotten to you yet, okay? Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
And we have a comment from Mr. Alvarado on the topic, so we can go into closed session.
Thank you for that information, sir. That was one of the questions I had. In reference to the information that you were asked for from this Cotulla Housing Authority, if you don't get all of your information that you've asked for, will the city be talking with the 81st DA's office reference to criminal charges filing, or will it go through the Attorney General, since it's probably dealing with federal monies for federal charges? That would be a question I would ask.
It's not on.
All right.
Are we gonna go upstairs? 'Cause I think-
We can.
Okay.
We can.
All right, we're going to go into closed
I wanted
session.
to do,
I'm sorry, yes, ma'am, go ahead.
please.
Yes, ma'am, Mr. Korlinski was on it.
Oh,
As a citizen.
Thank you. Actually, I'm trying to address our citizens this evening. For the last 4 months, we have had 3 men and 1 woman come up here and spew lies, accusations, and threats. And that's what the public is hearing. So now the screaming has stopped, so they can still come up and do whatever they want, whenever they want. But we needed to stop that. Who wants to hear that situation? That we are a corrupt city and that we are an indigent city? Who's going to want to come and live here? At any rate, it has stopped, so that's it on that. The other thing I wanted to say is just to tell our citizens that they are most welcome. We want them to come. We want them to come here and see and hear for themselves what their council is doing. We work for them. So, and also they are welcome to come to this podium and tell us their issues and concerns. But I want them to note that we cannot address them at that time, but we invite them to come. So citizens, I encourage you to come in January for the January meeting. Meanwhile, I just want to say thank you for all the great work from the council here. Welcome our citizens that are here this evening to come in January. Just want to say thank you. God bless you. God bless America and the whole world. And from our family to your families, we say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, this council is currently in closed session. We'll be going upstairs. You don't have to leave your seats. The time is 7:39. Closed session, Texas Government Code, ANN section .551.071. Open parentheses 1, close parentheses, open parentheses 2, close parentheses.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, it's now 8:42, and we are back in open session on closed session item number 19A, contemplating litigation with the Housing Authority. When we went into closed session, no action was taken until more information and clarification and review of documentation that had been recently sent out. So no action was taken whatsoever by this council.
In closed session.
In closed session, yes. So as of now, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second? All in favor of adjourning this meeting?
Aye.
All opposed? This meeting is officially closed.